Lark Silvertree has blood on her hands. Quite a lot of it, actually. 25 years ago, she escaped the massacre that destroyed her enclave and everyone she loved. What she became after? Well, that's the price of survival. She's made peace with being a monster. Now she's returned to the frozen ruins of Winter Sorrow, hunting for answers. But she's not the only one searching. Rion Palinor, a scholar with a black wolf and an irritating habit of quoting ancient texts, has been hired to find survivors. He prefers books to blades, has no business traipsing through any ruins, and sees through every lie she tells. Reluctant allies with too many secrets between them, they travel from the silver oaks of Winter Sorrow to the crimson forests of Autumn Crown, hunting the truth behind an ancient darkness. Someone wanted her enclave erased from history, and Lark may be the key to understanding why. She spent a lifetime needing no one. Of course she'd find someone worth living for, just as the world starts to fall apart. Look guys, it's our first physical copybook. Ah! I'm pumped to review this one. I know you're pumped to hear about it. Let's go. I am the... What's up guys, it's Alec the author. Welcome to my online indie author book review series, Alec Wants to Read Your Book. For this series, I read books by indie authors, self-published authors, maybe authors whose books haven't even come out yet, and I give you a clean, honest review on what I think of the book and whether or not you should support the author by picking up your own copy. I mean, you should support indie authors no matter what. Just support indie authors. Today, I have a special one because this is the first book that was actually sent to me that I opened. It's a physical copy book. I am so grateful to the author for sending me a copy of their book. And they even signed it. This thing's going to be worth a fortune. Tamsin Sheridan's amazing book, Winter Sorrow. Let's get into this thing. Let's find out if it's worth picking up a copy of for yourself. Now, before I get into the actual review here, let me just say that all of the opinions expressed in this review are mine and mine alone. I am by no means a professional book reviewer. I'm just an indie author myself who loves reading books, and I want to share some of them with you guys. All of the books here have been submitted to me by indie authors. I've either purchased a copy for myself or they provided one to me so that I could read it and give my honest opinion on it. If I don't like something, that doesn't mean that it's bad. And if I do like something, that doesn't mean that it's something everybody will like. I encourage everyone that is interested in any of the books you see in this series, go buy yourself a copy. Not only will you be able to then formulate your own opinions about these books, but you will also be supporting indie authors. And that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So today, like I said before, we are reviewing Winter Sorrow by Tamsin Sheridan, first physical book that was sent to me by the author. There's going to be a few criteria that we use in order to review these books. There are several permanent categories, and then we will have some additional categories that we add in for whatever genre the book is. For the permanent categories, that this will be across every genre that I read, we have the cover, the hook, which is the first line of the book, the writing, the characters, the genre, the spice level, and then an overall rating. The two additional categories that I will be adding in for this book are the magic system and the relationship. That's right, it's a fantasy romance. But we're going to get into that here in a second because this is not like your typical fantasy romance book. So with all that out of the way, we're going to dive right into it here, starting with the cover. It's amazing. This is the first time that I get to feel the cover myself and really get up close and personal with it, not just a JPEG. I'll still put the JPEG up for you guys though. All in all, this is a solid cover. It's beautiful, absolutely stunning. The script is perfect. This is perfect text. This is probably one of the downright prettiest book covers I've ever seen. It is eye-catching, but not in the normal way I talk about eye-catching, where it's boom, bam, you kind of get an idea of what you're going to be reading about. It's more subtle, but it's just gorgeous. The text is perfect. The colors are pleasing. I love Celtic knots. This is a personal preference thing here, but I love Celtic knots, and the tree having a Celtic knot woven through it like that. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Tamsin, 5 out of 5 on the cover. It's stunning. Prettiest, this is in the very short list running for prettiest book cover I've ever seen. 5 out of 5 on the cover. Beautiful. Let's do the next category here. The hook. For those of you that don't know, the hook is the first line of your book. Hey, that rhymes.
No more rhymes now, I mean it! Anybody want a peanut?
It's supposed to draw the reader in. It's supposed to make the reader want to read more. So you need to give away some of the story while not giving away too much. Hooks are difficult to nail. Extremely difficult to nail. So let's see how Tamsin did with their hook. 25 years ago, someone had slaughtered everyone Lark knew, and she had never learned why. Bazinga, 5 out of 5. It hooks. It hooks. You need to know who Lark is. You need to find out why she never learned this. And it happened 25 years ago. Like, that's a long time to not know what's been going on with your life. I need to know more. I need to know more. So yeah, that hook hooks. 5 out of 5. Well done, Tamsin. Let's keep going with the writing. It's technically very sound. The one hang up that I have here in the writing of this story is that there is just so much dialogue. There's a lot of talking in this book. The characters talk a lot. And while a lot can be done through dialogue as far as story development and even character development, which there is a ton of in this book, I kind of like to see characters doing more than just talking, if that makes sense. I'm going to use this term here now because it's going to apply to just about every category. This book is a slow burn. A slow burn is something where, like, not a whole lot of action is happening, like, in your face type action, but it does make you want to keep reading. And that's the writing in this book. That is, through and through, this is a slow burn book. I think the dialogue, like having so much dialogue, contributes to that, but it's not poor dialogue. It's still believable dialogue. So because of that, the writing, 4 out of 5. Very technically sound, just maybe a little more dialogue than I would love. The characters. I do like these characters. They're deep, they're interesting. I just want more of them doing. I wish I got to see them talk less and do more because, like, Lark seems like a total badass. She has really cool stuff going on with her, and I would love to see her doing those things more often. Rowan is a very interesting character too. Like, he's deep. He's very deep, and I like him. You just want them to, like, do things. 4 out of 5 here for the characters. Like, they're solid. They are solid characters. The genre. This is a little tricky for me. Technically, this book is classified as a fantasy romance. Everywhere that I looked, whether that be on the Amazon store or whatever else, it's listed as a fantasy romance. And while there are elements of that in here, I don't see a ton of it where I'm fairly confident that, like, or let's put it a different way. This ain't your typical fantasy romance. Again, it's a slow burn. So it's a 3 out of 5 for the genre. It feels more like a fantasy, like I feel like this could be a high fantasy or even an epic fantasy. And this is book 1 in a series. So we may see more of that as we go. And there is definitely romance, but it doesn't take center stage. And that is perfectly fine. I don't feel like it would have been as good if it did. But for where it's classified, I'm going to say 3 out of 5. It's a great fantasy. Maybe not everybody's cup of tea fantasy romance. Let's get to the spice level. It is a mild. This book is a slow burn. And I know I've said the words slow burn a lot through this review, but honestly, that's the best word to describe it. It doesn't get much spicier than a kiss, but it's refreshing. Oh my God, is it refreshing? There is nothing wrong with spicy books. It's not always my cup of tea. I don't love an over dramatic amount of spice in my books unless it's, like, definitely needed in the story. This book does that perfectly. Slow burn, 1 out of 5 mild for the spice level, but that's okay. Again, let me make something clear about spice level, by the way, my spice level category. The spice level category does not fit into the overall score. This is just to let people who do read books for the spice know how spicy it is. So the fact that I gave it a 1 out of 5 here is just for the spice level. It's a mild, but that does not affect the overall score of the book. Let's move on to the extra category that I put in for fantasy books, the magic system. This is how magic functions in this world in the book. For Winter Sorrow, magic system is a 4 out of 5. Very solid. It's magic, it's fantasy magic, but there's something unique about it. It isn't just good witches and bad witches. There's something deeper here in the magic system. Something that feels very nature-based, but also light-based. I'm very interested to see where this magic system continues to go. When you read the book, it seems like there's a good side and a bad side, but they also don't seem to be totally one way or the other, if that makes sense. It's difficult to explain. You kind of have to read it in order to fully see what I'm getting at here. But the magic system is interesting. It's very interesting. It makes me want to read the rest of the books in the series, if not just to find out more about the world. So magic system, 4 out of 5. Now for the romance subcategory here, the relationship. I'm giving this relationship a 5 out of 5. The relationship itself between Lark and Rowan is probably the strongest relationship that I have seen in the books that I've read so far for this series. It starts awkward, they become kind of acquaintancy, then they become friends, and then it kind of develops into more. It's like the most natural progression in a relationship. There's no instant lovers, there's no like over dramatic sexual tension. It's very good, very natural. And because they talk so much too, like you get a sense of their communication feels like what a relationship should be striving for, that level of communication. They're not always honest with each other, they have their secrets, but they read each other really well and they react to each other very well. Tamsin, you nailed it on the relationship. Nailed it for me. 5 out of 5, the relationship in Winter Sorrow. So let's get to the overall score for this book. Winter Sorrow by Tamsin Sheridan. I am giving this book a 4 out of 5. It is a slow burn. The major action sequence doesn't even really happen until like the last 60 pages. But my God, did I keep reading until I got there. And not once did I put the book down feeling bored. You can ask my wife. Sometimes I would even just like pace around being like, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. The slow burn pays off in this book. It's really building into something big. I think we're going to see more of that in the other books in this series, which I do intend to read, by the way, because damn it, I want to see where this goes. So Winter Sorrow, Tamsin Sheridan, 4 out of 5. Highly recommend. If you are a slow burn fantasy romance type person, you're going to find a lot to love in this book. If you are just a fantasy fan, you're going to find a lot of joy in the magic system in this book. 4 out of 5. Recommend it. Pick up a copy. There's going to be a link down in the description below where you can support this author. Amazing work, Tamsin. Amazing work. Well done. Thank you, Tamsin Sheridan, for sending me a copy of your book, Winter Sorrow. I enjoyed every minute of it. I really appreciate it. And thank you, yes, you, the person who stayed until the end of this video. Since you're here anyway, why not hit that like button on there? It's the little thumbs up. You can click it. You can also drop a subscribe on the channel. It's 100% free for you, and it helps this channel grow. Make sure you turn on the little bell as well so you always get notified every time I post one of these reviews. Like I said, the book list is over 500, and every single one is going to be read and reviewed on here. So you got a lot of content coming down the pipeline, a lot of cool reviews, a lot of my sultry voice for your earballs. While we're on the subject of thanking people, let me thank my beautiful patrons over at patreon.com/Alec the author. These are the people that grease the wheels that make this engine turn. Without them, I would be nothing. If you want to make it onto this amazing list of people, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/Alec the author. There's a link down in the description of the video. Down there, you can click it, get yourself some free books. Maybe you can join for as little as $1 a month, all the way up to crazy levels that I don't expect anyone to ever do. But prove me wrong. Go to patreon.com/Alec the author today. Become a supporter. Thank you to all the authors who submit their books to me. Huge thank you to Tamsin. This book is going to be very well loved and cared for, I promise. That's all for this time, guys. Until next time, be excellent to each other. I want to read your book.